Seconds.
Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
Ready!
How dare you!
Welcome to Nevermind the Furthermore, your morning dose of creative conversation and coffee with your host, Brian K. Morris, independent publisher, freelance hybrid author, award-winning playwright, Facebook famous YouTuber, and former mortician's assistant. Get ready to start your day off right.
And good morning, everyone. How the heck are you? Welcome to the Wednesday Hump Day, New Comic Day edition, August 4th edition of Nevermind the Furthermore. Live! Yes, we're live once again. And if you're watching us live, we love you. If you're watching us on the rerun, we love you too. Please feel free to interact with us on the live broadcast. If you're watching us on YouTube, on the repeat, please leave us a comment down below, and we'll try to reply to you. But that's how this show works. It's an interactive conversation show. We hope you'll participate. And straightening up my tie so I don't look like I just dressed myself and I rushed up here, which I did. It's not getting any better, is it? I need a dresser, so help me get over 1,000 subscribers. I can hire someone to help dress me. Anyway, folks, hope you're having a great morning so far. Welcome to the show, and as always, we want to say our thank yous because you should always have an attitude of gratitude, and we are very grateful to Jeffrey Hayes and Plasma Fire Graphics. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you. When you've written a kick-ass book, what's the next best thing to making it a perfect novel or collection of short stories? It's your cover. That's what's going to draw people to pick up your book and take a look at it and turn around, look at the back cover copy, and eventually make it theirs. Well, Jeffrey Hayes at Plasma Fire Graphics can help you with all that. He's a great designer. You see all those book covers he did back there in the trailer? Those were his, and in fact, he did the trailer too. He can make one for you. He can also make you graphics that'll help you sell your book, such as Snow Ambition, the fourth in the Snow Short series, and it's a quick read crime thriller by myself. It's available right now on Amazon for 99 cents. And Jeffrey Hayes did that beautiful, beautiful cover, and he can do one for you. So check him out. Ask for his rates at plasmafiregraphics.com, and also check out his other works at Facebook. He's got a page there too. So check out Plasma Fire Graphics when the look of your book matters to you, because it matters to your readers. All right. And we want to thank also the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. 7 days a week of entertainment and information. We got you covered. And tonight at 7 p.m., we've got a new edition of The Truth Mongers with Ted Davies and Glenn B. Fleming, where they talk about all kinds of really cool modern myths and conspiracy theories with a very educated point of view. And it's a lot of fun. There's some laughs in there. You will dig it. And then tomorrow's a busy day. Holy cats. I think Ted's taking the morning off. But anyway, we're going to go into the evening where we're going to start it at 7 p.m. with Comic Book Spectrum with myself, Eric Hawkins, Brian Rodman, lost my place, and Clyde Hall, as we review the latest comic books and talk about the funny book industry. Then Amy Hale's taking a couple weeks off to gear up for the next season of Creative as Hale. That's a great show. Check out the reruns. It's always a good time. And then at 9 p.m. is Stupid O'Clock, all times Eastern, by the way. Stupid O'Clock is a very fun, really fun conversation show with some really educated people, and they're all geeks and nerds, and you'll feel right at home with them. Anyway, it's a fantastic show. And then stay tuned afterwards around 1 o'clock in the morning on Friday morning. Yes, late hours, if you don't have to go to school or work tomorrow. And check out Dan Hollifield's Last Man Standing. Always a great time, too. So anyway, check out the Rising Tide Broadcast Network and subscribe to us on Facebook, because I asked nicely, right? Anyway, we also want to thank our patrons on Patreon for a small monthly subscription. They support their favorite creators directly. I'm blessed to be one of them, and their contributions help keep the show on the air and growing. And we couldn't do this without them. We are so grateful to them, and we'd be grateful to you if you would check us out at www.patreon.com/Brian K. Morris. And see what rewards we offer you in return for your support. Then I think that's it. And we got a bunch of comments, people lining up. And we also have a package reveal. Holy cats, we have a package reveal here. And I'm going to keep my finger over the thing. But, we got a package. It doesn't matter if it's a little package, because there's a lot of good stuff in packages, right? Anyway, let's check out the comments first and build up the suspense. Am I the first comment? Carl Witzman asked at 9:44, or the pressure to be witty. And Wednesday, the second Monday of the week. Only when I'm here, brother. Anyway, good to see you, Carl. Good morning to Donna, Carly, Carlene. Okay, you can feel less pressured now. And as soon as he visits the little podcaster's room, he will. And there she is. Hey there, friends. Michaela Jade. Mwah, good to see you. And check out Michaela's morning shows. She's got a morning motivation to kick you in the ass and get you out of bed and get you working your dream. Getting out of the job so you can work your dream job, which is being creative. And it's a great morning starter. It's, Michaela and coffee are the two ways I like to start my day. Michigan cherry, by the way, today. Thank you, Ted Davies. And in my pocket you go. I'm ready. And hey, Michaela, how's the temperature out there today? muffle. And hey, Michaela, thanks for giving me the heads up. And Skunk Rocker, good to see you. Morning, Evermorians. Today's weird random factoid is brought to you by Redacted. That's a brand new product, isn't it? And wow, the redaction has started early. Yeah, man, that de-escalated quickly. And Scott Cracker says many of the characters in the film Death Machine are named after famous sci-fi and horror directors and references to their films, such as Jack Dante, John Carpenter, Wayland Yutani, Raimi, and Scott Ridley. And I agree with Donna Carlene. That is a cool factoid. That is really neat to know. And temperatures, according to Weather Woman, Michaela Jade says, temps are nice if you aren't working, and I'm covered with sweat, which works for me by Jingo. I like my women sweaty. And Scott Cracker says, by the way, I brought it up on the last show, but it was near the end of your show, so I'm going to bring it up again. Death Machine is an incredible film if you like schlocky sci-fi horror. And if you don't like schlocky sci-fi horror, then what are you doing here? And schlocky is good. I agree with you, Donna, and poor Michaela. She's all sweaty. And she's glowing. That's what it is. What is the old thing? Horses sweat, men perspire, and women glow. Last weekend in Metropolis, I was glowing like a pig if I was a woman. Anyway, Scott Cracker says the super 90s cyberpunk film, but finding a good version of it is difficult. I hope one day they do a 4K restoration of that film with the director's cut. Is it just like the Fantastic Four film by Roger Corman that the leaked versions of it were pretty low res? And it's only in the last few years that somebody got a hold of and distributed a higher res version of the Fantastic Four movie, which is, you talk about schlock, that is it. But it's pretty faithful to the early FF. And cool, Skunk. And good morning, Willow Schuyler. Mwah. Thank you, darling, for being here. Loving the new show. And greetings from the prairie, Mark. It's good to see you, my friend. Good morning to you. Hope all is well. And Jeffrey Hayes, good morning. Good Wednesday morning, Nevermorians. Dropping my link, but not running away. Listening while doing artwork. Well, we hope we can inspire you, especially when we reveal what's in our package. But we're going to get a little further along. And hello, Will. Everybody's saying hello to the Peppermint Princess. And Carl Witzman on YouTube says, don't forget to like or unlike if that's the way you are. And we hope they'll come around, those poor tortured souls. But actually, we may have figured out one of the people may be responsible for that. Let's just say there's a silent P in his name. And Grant Lankard, good morning to you. Hope you are doing well. And everyone's saying hello to Grant. And hello, Mark Lerner from Kathy Jackson, who we love. And, by the way, KokomoCon is coming up on the 21st of this month. There are still some tables available, and you can share. If you want to get somebody in on a table with you, you can reach out and split the cost. But check with Sean D. Hilton, SHAWN, Hilton, like the hotel chain. And please get you a table, because I'm going to be there. Kathy Jackson and Matthew Jackson will be there, the Mad Celt himself. Michaela Jade will be there. Andy Shaggy Cordy, Mark Lemieux, and we got a whole bunch of other people. We're trying to pack it with rising tidesters. Okay, so that's my goal. And Carl Weston says, seeing Willow got me so hyped up that I dumped cigar ashes all over my slacks. Sigh. Oh my gosh, I hear that happens a lot when one gets older. So. Or was that code? I don't know. Anyway, Scott Cracker says, anyway, I've been working on brainstorming this idea I've had, and I'm at a bit of a crossroads trying to figure out what the MacGuffin is. Once I have that figured, the rest of the plot will come. Well, good. You're making progress. I love seeing that. And hello, beautiful Keisha Acuff, to the beautiful people. Mwah. Hope you're doing well. Good work on Cryptid Crunch the other day. You and Willow should be very proud of yourselves. And Mark Learn says, good morning, Kathy. And Grant Lankard, I'm curious if any of you have ever thought of applying for a grant to pursue your artistic endeavors. Somebody suggested to me the other day, and it never crossed my mind. I've written grants before, Grant. It's a pain in the butt because you have to be very precise in your language. I did that for the Danville Light Opera organization for 3 years. Back in the day, I was pretty good at it, but it was a pain. The thing is, a lot of grants, and you can get federal and state grants. Don't ignore your own state's offerings. A lot of, at least based on Illinois and Indiana, the ones I've seen have been for like artists in residence, where you basically take up residence at a university and teach classes and such. Kind of sing for your supper. But it's worth looking into. We would have a hard time getting it because folks like us have, like a year ago, we might have had a chance if we had like 4 or 5 employees in our group. But we don't. Everybody basically that does work for us is an independent contractor. So that makes things difficult. But it's worth pursuing, Grant. Give it a shot. Seriously, you never know. And Scott Crocker says, I don't trust things like that. What, like grants? Or your MacGuffin. Anyway, the artwork of Bill Sarn says, good morning, Brian, and all the Nevermorians. Count your blessings. So I have to say more. Not in this corner, you don't, buddy. Good to have you here. And we just had a small comment dump there. Ace Bonnie, good morning to you, my friend. If the local coffee shop has awarded you Employee of the Month and you don't even work there, you may be drinking too much coffee. Good morning. No, I'd say you're doing it just about right, Ace. I'm serious. Oh, yes. I did some work for Ted Davies recently, and he paid me in coffee, and he sent down some Michigan cherry coffee. I love Michigan cherry coffee. And we used to get it all the time in Lafayette or in Champaign, Illinois. There was a place called Bigby's. There's a chain called Bigby's that we would get Michigan cherry from, and it was really, really good. It comes down here to Lafayette occasionally, but not often enough for our taste. But we were happy. We're happy kids now. And bring cookie home. Hashtag, that is the main hashtag in our lives. Artwork of Bill Sarn, at Sarnart 76. And we will do our package reveal at the bottom of the hour. So gather the kids, send the messages out, share this message. What is Brian going to pull out of his package? I ask you, and you will find the answer in about 10 minutes. Anyway, Grant, I've written grant proposals for work before. It's tougher than writing anything else about the worst task you'll ever try. Seriously, it is. Again, because it's not creative. Except and Carl might, I'd welcome Carl's input on this since he's done it too. But you can be creative in how you present your in the facts you present. But you have to be very precise in your language, and you have to fit the formula that they often give you. I dealt with the state of Illinois for artistic grants for the Danville Light Opera. Unfortunately, I had some templates to go by. You could go online, Grant, and look at templates. It may discourage you, but you have to also attach paperwork. Also, I wrote grants to a local company that gave us money. But the thing is, you have to, like for the state, I had to concentrate on the idea of artistic growth, artistic involvement from the community. Whereas for the local grant, they were very big on children's programs. So I had to I had to concentrate mostly on the children's programs that we offered. So it's not like you can take the same formula, the same material, and just shoot it out to different people. The language and the format has to be precise is the thing. And you have to be realistic but optimistic in your financial goals. Now, some grants are for fixed amounts, but some grants, like say our state grant and this one particular local grant, was we could request a certain amount, but we had to justify why we wanted that amount. And most of the time I got the local one, I got exactly what I asked for. My predecessor for the state grant would always get less than he asked for, but every year that I applied, I actually got more than I requested. So and a lot of it deals with state whim and also politics, because for years there was a joke and probably still is in Illinois, that all of the money goes north of I-80, which is Interstate 80 that runs across the south side of Chicago. Because Chicago's kind of like the tail that wags the dog. A lot of the people are influenced by Chicago politicians. So, but anyway, do it. You never know until you try. Good luck and start early. Seriously. And yeah, that was funny what he said. Scoutcracker says, I used to see commercials with that guy on TV talking about those government grants and how the government is just giving away money so you can do what you want. Yeah, that is not true, because I'm glad you said that, Skunk. Another part of it is you sometimes have to provide proof that you spent it on exactly on what you said you would. For instance, part of our conditions of getting some of these grants were like, we had to send them playbills of the plays that we put on. They could not be mimeographed unless we told them, we just did a cheap mimeograph. Most of ours were offset print. So we had to send them copies of the script, or not script, but the play, the program. And if we had photographs, we had to send them also to show that we had actually put this show on. Because otherwise some people would say, okay, we're giving you $5,000 and, everybody gets pizza. So if, you have to justify that you have spent the money wisely. Otherwise, sometimes there could be penalties, or they'll ding you if you try to do it again. It gets complicated. Read all the rules. I guess that's the bottom line. And the bottom line is we're glad to see John B. Pica. Hey there, friends and foes to you, my friend. Good seeing you this last weekend. Thank you for introducing me to Dee. She is a charmer. She really is. And it was a good time. And John B. Pica's probably one of my, if not my favorite Harley Quinn. And Skunkcracker continues, and it's like, okay, what's the catch? He says there's no catch. There has to be a catch if it's successful. Does the government own your property? Are you subject to different tax rules? Well, normally, I dealt with a nonprofit organization, so there are different rules for them. But every grant I've ever read about, or because I've looked for grants online too to support Rising Tide, the rules aren't that much different. But there are also conditions under which you have to adhere, because they want to make sure. Again, they want to make sure their money is spent wisely. That it's not going to go out to somebody who's going to like run over the border with it or anything. Because then that kills programs. You don't want to do that. Skunk Record continues. Sure, he was selling a book all about it. But from what I understand, the book is basically based on public knowledge if you just go look for it, so he doesn't lose anything. So again, what's the catch? I know the guy you mean. Is that the guy that had all the question marks on his suit and everything and the goofy glasses? Yeah. I think I got a copy of that book one year. I found it in a secondhand store, actually. But no, go to your state government. In fact, you might be able to get local grants as well. Artistic grants are usually harder to come by, but just look up, government grant, like writer assistance grants on Google. Just do the homework, and just know that it's a lot easier to write comic books than it is to write state grants. If I have questions, can I shoot them your way, Carl? Brian will probably tell you to say no. Few people have more questions than me when I get on a roll. Grant, you can run by me too. I haven't written a grant in about close to 10 years, but I still remember the horror. But yeah, and Skunkcracker says, maybe I'm just paranoid. No, I think you are more like hyper aware. Okay, you've developed the proper level of cynicism in life that'll see you through it well. And William Quinton, good morning to you, my friend. 47 Furious Tales, a great comic book. Check it out. I have good news. 47 Furious Tales is now being distributed by Comics Mainstream. We're going into a handful of stores on Spinnerx today. First up, a dispensary. Good for you, my man. Hey, have you talked to Liberty Entertainment, Varian Grant's organization? I don't mind pimping for him because he's a good guy, and he's getting results too. He's getting stuff out there, so you might check with him too. It doesn't, unless you have like an exclusive deal, it doesn't hurt to have as many of your eggs in as many baskets as possible. And good morning, Eric Hawkins, co-star of Comic Book Spectrum on tomorrow night, so every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Good morning to you, sir. How are you today? And good morning, Derek Hawkins. And Brian's package. That's right. We're 7 minutes away from the big reveal. What is in here? What is in here? And I'm going to cover it up because I don't want to dox the guy, but are we tempted? I don't want to dox me either. So anyway, here we go. I don't care really. So anyway, there's that. And DM me, Grant. I can try to answer what I can. And you have to register for my OnlyFans if you want me to reveal what's in my package. That's Grant Langer. I don't know. All those men's room stalls can't be wrong. I'm telling you. And I see your name today. Yay, Tabitha Dibble Brown. Good morning. Ready to be creative today, darling. Mwah, that is what I crave to hear. I love hearing that. I'm planning it today. I'm going to start an edit on a short story of mine. I'm really excited because I finally found my voice on this thing. And I'm geared up for a sequel on it already. So, it's a good day, Tabitha. That makes me happy. And Michaela Jade says she will be at Kokomo. That means we all get to go out to dinner together. I start looking for a place that'll hold about 50 people. And also we sent out the notice to a lot of other of our friends, Michaela. So we're going to try to pack that place with Nevermorians. But I know that, like I said, Andy, Shaggy, Cordy, and some of these people I want to introduce you to, Michaela, because they are awesome people. Mark Lemieux was at the Superman celebration last weekend, and fun. Last time I saw him was 2 years ago at Kokomo Con, and he is a funny guy, a great artist, a super artist, and just a real swell human. And he brought his fiance with him. That was fun. Heather is a fun lady. It's going to be great. John B. Pica says, Willow Schuyler and Keisha Acuff had the highest rated show on our network yet. Cryptid Crunch is a hit. I am not surprised, Johnny. I'm not surprised at all. That you struck magic with that one. That is good. And Scott Crocker says, no, Brian, apparently here's another weird factoid. The weird thing is the film was released in full 16:9 widescreen high definition, but only in Germany and only with German dubbing. Wow, that is really freaky. And the only English versions that exist with the original audio are apparently 4.4 and 3 low def DVD and are the original release only. Wow, that's really peculiar. That is an interesting factoid, my friend. And Keisha Acuff is doing well, and thank you. Glad to hear that. And Tina McInnery, who will also be at Kokomo Con with Rodney Fike, please join us. Good morning, everyone. Have a great day. Tina, only if you do first, darling. Good to see you here. Hope you are well. And let's see. Another comment. We're on top of this. We're on top of this. Here we go. And let's see. Oh, so there are some fan edits online and through bootlegging distributors, but you got to jump through hoops to find stuff like that. Yeah, it's not as easy as it used to be. In one way that's good, in one way that's like, dang it. Anyway, meanwhile, I'm the crazy goober that wants to find a VHS copy because that would just be dope. I agree. I'd hold out for a Betamax copy if I were you. I don't care about the timing. You know, that's the thing. There are little mini communities on eBay that one of whom support Betamax to this day, and they like dub films in Betamax. And they also exchange parts for their machines to keep them going. You know, keep in mind that I don't think Sony's made a Betamax machine in how many decades, and I know they don't make the DVDs or the film itself anymore. So yeah, it's a challenge, and there's also a brand of DVD machine that basically ignores country codes. There's many TV systems around the world are not always compatible, but there was a VCR that could run so for instance, like an American machine might not be able to run a cassette from Great Britain and vice versa. But there was a machine put out by, I don't remember which company it was, but it was able to ignore those codes and could run any country's videos on it and make copies, etc. And those were discontinued at the behest of the VHS manufacturers, I'm told. But there's a community that exchanges parts and makes parts so those machines can keep running. I just think that's interesting. And set your alarms this Thursday night at 8 p.m. Central Time, 9 p.m. Eastern for Stupid O'Clock with host Joel McKeel. Join us for the fun, and you may learn something before it's done. Yes, Bill has been showing up regularly as one of the guests there, so please support him. And people I support is the lovely and wonderful Candace Comaleri. Good morning, Brian and everyone. Many hugs. Sweetheart, I love you. I really do miss you, and hope you and Tim are well. Mwah! I gotta get down to Terre Haute sometime when you're around, and let's go out to lunch or something, all right? Seriously, I love you, darling. Hope you're doing well. And Ryan Permisson has shared this episode. Thank you very much, Ryan, as always. And don't forget to please share this episode on your social media so people can see all the cool people you hang out with in the chat. And Ryan says, happy Wednesday, Nevermorians. How are you? And he's doing well. Good. Check out the latest episode of the podcast Talking Movies, number 109, at the Nerdcast at Anchor FM. You gotta have it. And you will probably not get a grant unless you have a charity or government agency backing you, says Carl Whitson. Yeah. Now, I have seen, especially for creatives, there are grants to be had for private individuals. And you don't need to be an LLC. You don't need to have an MBA to do it. But just keep in mind, there's also a lot of competition for it. And some of the people you're going against are professionals that I think they go from grant to grant to keep their business going. But I still say try. Grant, you lose nothing by it. And it's good discipline if you're writing. And Ryan Permisson, speaking of discipline, says you'll get more discipline by subscribing to the Nerd Culture channel on YouTube for more nerdy content like talking movies and video games, interviews, and more. You'll dig it. And Grant Lankert says, ha ha, he mocks me with his laughter. Why, you little? I know what you mean, Brian. The two grants I was looking into have questionnaires, and the questions are specifically set up so you just can't copy and paste. Yeah, that's it. They don't make it easy, and that's part of the purpose. It's kind of like submission guidelines for magazines or other publishers where that's the shortcut. I see so many people say, well, I'm just going to do this and get around all their rules. I don't like those rules. Well, screw you. That's why the rules are there. It's kind of like the thing where you see a sign that says, don't poop in the bathing, in the water fountain. It's only there because some other idiot did it first. Okay. The rules are specifically designed so that they know that you can follow directions, and they want to, it's a tough job. I don't know how many grants they probably have to look at every day, but they need it in a certain format. They need it in a certain style. And again, I don't see Alan Moore or Neil Gaiman writing grants. Okay, that's not their wheelhouse. But if you can convey something tersely, that is a good thing. My stuff had to be edited massively. I'd write it, then I'd cut out a lot of the fat from it. But go for it, seriously. And the artwork of Bill Sarn says, after Stupid O'Clock, stay up with the Night Owls for Dan Hollifield's Last Man Standing around 1 o'clock in the morning on Friday mornings and around 11 p.m. Thursday nights and 1 a.m. on Sunday mornings. But you have a great evening of entertainment between that and Stupid O'Clock. And Ryan Purmison, in case you missed it, check out the latest episode of Battle with the Nerds, where the trivia category is 80s movies. Ooh, that's the last time I saw a lot of movies. So, and the artwork Bill Sarn says the bird's the word when you get Cindy Kep's nice and nifty newsletter at CKOEPP.com. It's really something to tweet about. And Cindy had some great questions last night on Clever Title Pending. We had a great comic creator and comic book packager, Charles Santino, who has a great comic out now called Rammer that's on in demand on Indiegogo, so you can get a copy, and it's sweet. He sent me an advance look at it, and it's good stuff. Plus, he was talking about the time he worked for Marvel Comics and the advice he got from people like Chuck Dixon and Larry Hama. Larry Hama, the only comic book creator that's appeared on an episode of MASH. Anyway, so please check out last night's episode. It was really, really fun. And Ryan Permisson continues, in case you missed it, check out the latest episode of And I Quote with writer, model, and actress Lacey Lemke. I love that girl. She is wonderful. She's a dear friend. We are kind of like, con wife and husband at these things. We just hang out and have so much fun. I adore her. She's evil, but in that good, life-affirming way. And Ryan Permisson, summer reading recommendations, send that man yours so that he can read your stuff, all right? And we are past the time for the package reveal. And hey, Brian, hey, Glenn Fleming, how are you? Looking forward to the Truthmongers tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central with you and Ted. It's going to be a good time as always. Glad to see you here. And the man of the hour, Bobby Nash, BobbyNash.com. My publisher on the new Snow Shorts series, available now on Amazon for 99 cents. Good morning from the road, everyone. Well, okay, here we go. This is Bobby Nash is the person who sent me this this package. And look at, that's his art there. He knows I love Masters of the Universe. And it says on the side, Orko, don't bend. He drew that. I love that, Bobby. And we are now going to open up. Don't worry, Bobby. I concealed your address so that the groupies don't show up. Anyway, Bobby learned that I was, a couple weeks ago. Do I still have all of them here? Yes, I do. I found some toys at my local Dollar General, and I love Masters of the Universe, and so we have Merman. These are only $1 a piece. How can I resist? And Man-at-Arms, and He-Man, and, of course, my fave, Orko. Isn't that a thing of beauty? Isn't that gorgeous? And anyway, he found out I was missing one, and Bobby, being the good friend he is, here's my package reveal. Skeletor, and I now have a complete set. Bobby, thank you so much, and I will get that book to you in the next day or two on the mail. But that was so kind of you, Bobby. I really deeply appreciate these. And these are really nicely made. Good paint job on these. Really sweet. And it's really tough to see on here, but at the bottom, they're all each on a stand that has the Masters of the Universe logo on them. So I'm just like, let's see. Let's get this up here. There we go. We just advertised for him. Anyway, again, Bobby Nash, thank you so much, my brother. I appreciate you so much. And also, Bobby Nash will be on this coming Clever Title Pending, along with Charles F. Millhouse. Bobby, let's see if we can break the 4-hour mark this time, okay? But anyway, thank you, Bobby. Thank you for that. Thank you for the beautiful illustration. It is definitely a keeper. And so are you, my man. I appreciate you so much. Thank you, Bobby. That was awesome. And I hope your day goes well and good luck. Much Much love to you, and I hope you and your dad have a good day today. And I'm up to 468 subs on YouTube. I'm chasing you down, Brian. Sweetheart, I want you to pass me up. All right? Good for you. And who thought you'd have subs, right? At least the kind we can mention here on the air. Anyway, William Quinton says, I need to speak to Varian as well. I have a non-exclusive contract with Comics Mainstream. Yeah, and that's the thing. If you are a comic book creator, talk to my friend Varian Grant of Indie Volt fame. He has a company he's been working on for a couple of years. He really wanted to set it up so that it was right, when the wheels hit the ground. And it's good for retailers, and it's good for the person publishing, because for dealers they have competitive discounts. The books will come bagged and boarded, and also like Diamond and all the other places make you order comics that won't come out for at least 2 months. Varian only lists comics that he can send you right now. So if he had in his warehouse 47 Furious Tales, and somebody wanted those first 2 issues, they'd place the order. They'd get them the next week. You see what I'm saying? They don't have to wait. That way, they don't tie up their money for 2 months while the publishers are going to press. So it's a good deal, and I really want Varian to succeed with us. So please check it out, William. You really do need to talk to Varian, and I know you know him. So there you go. And Orko, yes, Bobby, my fave rave. Although I like I love Skeletor, I love He-Man. That's good stuff. That's and I see they've also got other Masters of the Universe toys out right now, which makes me happy. And Ryan Permisson says spots are open for 2022 for his And I Quote program. We are live on Saturdays at noon Eastern, but if you need to record, then you can do that. We have friendly conversation and promote your projects. So sign up at that Calendly address under Ryan-Nerd Culture. And Grant Lacker says, if you guys go to Kokomo, you need to play the Beach Boys song at least once. You can't help but hear it in your head when you enter. And this is the place where it is based upon. So Ace Bonnie says, BKM new comic book miniseries, Grant writing the horror. No joke. Yeah, the one thing I will say for the state of Illinois, they were very patient with me, although I think I drove one of them to drink. Because I just wasn't, my reading comprehension could have been better. I don't speak that language. At the time, I didn't speak that language very well. Now I do. And Ryan Purviston says, read Animal Line #1 by Cindy Cap. And I enjoyed it. Can't wait to read more of the series. Buy your copy today. It's an all ages game lit comic. Yes, it is. And I still have my copy here. Oh yeah, Bobby, I think you'll like this. At the Superman Celebration, I won a raffle for a Blu-ray of The Fighting Devil Dogs with Lee Powell, Herman Briggs. Oh, I've not seen that one. I really want to see that soon. But anyway, yes, definitely. I got my copy of Animal Line this week by the lovely Cindy Cap. It is a great, great story. Beautiful art by Roel Cruz, and it's available right now from Bear Publications. And it would not surprise me if this book got mentioned once or twice on Comic Book Spectrum soon. You know what I'm saying. And I'm going to wait until after the show to try reading the Grant documentation because Brian keeps distracting me. This is very dry reading. Yeah, did I tell you? Yeah, it's not exciting. The only thing drier may be what you write yourself. So, warning you right now. And there she is, my darling Lynn Bush. Lynn, mwah, good to see you. Sneaking on again while the boss is away. Hey there, Orko. Hey, evil Lynn. Good to see you as always. Love to you and the family. And did you see what I got? Bobby Nash is the best human being on earth next to you. And Cookie, maybe. Anyway, I got a complete set of those now. I got to find a way to display them with the proper reverence that they deserve. But anyway, Lynn, mwah. Hope you're doing well. And by the way, I'm starting the next book I'm reading is going to be someone I love, if you know what I mean. So I'll let you know. Ace Bonnie, what's it called when you steal someone's coffee? Mugging. I love it. He's channeling his inner Cindy Cap. And Scott Clark says, I know I'm a little behind because of work and stuff, but yes, Brian, that's the guy. Matthew Lasco, if I remember correctly. Okay, cool. And good morning to my darling Sarah, mwah, who may have to see a podiatrist after yesterday. That's all I'll say about it. But anyway, Sarah, good to see you this morning, hon, and hope you are looking forward to a good day. I look forward to a good day with you. And good morning, folks, from the Historical Fencing Guild every Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. If you want to learn about combat, about swordplay, about weaponry, Nick's your guy. He's written a couple of really good books available on Amazon dealing with weaponry and combat. You really need them if you're a writer that does that sort of thing. And come on, Brian, give Grant a grant. Okay, I grant him the permission to read that dry piece of crap and to work it out. And I have to say that's one thing I ain't going to edit. I'm not going to edit grants. They drove me nuts when I did it for DLO. It's worth it. It's worth it if you get what you're looking for. And the one nice thing, the one advantage I had, and I think Carl probably had the same advantage, is that we dealt with organizations that didn't deal out just one grant. A lot of what Grant is looking for in a grant, we're going to hear that word a lot. Sometimes it's a one or nothing sort of thing. There's like one grant available. Let's say it's for 25 grand. They're not going to dole it out to 5 people for 5 grand. It may be a 25,000 grant. And some of them are for living expenses. I do remember that, to keep you going, but you have to have a certain amount of output for it. So, and Rick Bradley, good morning to you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, my friend. And John B. Pica, hey gang, we secured another URL for Back of the Cereal Box. Yes, Back of the Cereal Box. .fun. I love that. That is so cool. And Sarah says, thanks goodness for this show. It's a relief from day-to-day stuff. I love you too, to the abyss and back, sweetheart. Oh, and Brian, they didn't have Betamax in the 90s, says the Skunk Crocker. They might not have, but this one subgroup did. They did a lot of trading. There was stuff going on with Betamax back in the 90s and even up till recently. And it wouldn't surprise me if that subgroup was still around. It's more like a network. It's not like you can do a search for this group, but it's people that have networked and know that other collectors exist, Skunk. So it's out there, dude. It's out there. And Teresa Dunn, good morning, Brian. Still typing my book up. Good. See that you stay busy, young woman. Mwah. And congratulations on that new vehicle. And Historical Fencing Guild says, it is Wednesday, so I will be running basic fantasy RPG role-playing games for Red Valkyrie Presents Dice Dudes and Dames, 8:30 to midnight, and HSLF. Okay, oh and a half. Okay, thank you. Little typo there, but I translate well. Anyway, looking forward to seeing that, Nick. And Sarah says that was very impressive. That part of his resume was Marvel, referring to a clever title pending. I can't remember his name. Charles Santino. And his book is called Ranmer. In fact, I think I may have the banner for it. Hold on here. Did I put that away? There we go. Yeah, and there is the address for Indiegogo. https://www.indiegogo.com/projects/RAMMUR-1 and the number sign for all things Charles Santino. He's also got other things in his in-demand store, so please check it out. He is a terrific creator. He was a lot of fun last night. We had a good time, and yeah, it was impressive. He wrote Conan the Barbarian comics. That puts him in some pretty fast company there. Plus, he's packaging comics, which means he is putting together comic books for different publishers. He is often the writer. He is he is usually the writer, and he hires the artist, the letterer, the colorist. He basically says, okay, you want to publish a comic? Here's your comic. Publish it. So anyway, it was really interesting last night, and he and I had a good after show too. It was a lot of fun. Good to talk to somebody like that. And and Glenn Fleming, we're not on Truth Mongers tonight. Ted is away. We're back next week. Okay, great, Glenn, great. I wasn't sure what Ted's schedule was or when he started his hiatus. And Rick Bradley, am I just in time for Brian's package? And Sarah says, ooh, I love package reveals. Well, I hope you enjoyed my package. And Robert May says, I can't find these. Well, keep looking, Robert. Keep looking. Don't give up now. It'll be in the last place you look, because you'll find it and you'll stop looking. And Grant, that song by the Beach Boys has been playing in my head since I bought my table at Kokomo. And you know, the nice thing is also, Michaela, it's easy to get to. It's a really, it may be the last year we have it there, because I understand the place has been sold and they want to repurpose it as more than just a convention center. But it's really nice. The thing is, I will tell everyone that will be going to Kokomo Con as a vendor, go around the back of the building. They don't want you bringing your carts in through the front. But there's a huge door, easy load-in, and usually Sean has people that can help you if you need it. It's a real fun show. Last year, he had it in October, which is his usual month. That's another thing. They've been kind of screwing him around on the dates. This is like about the fourth or fifth different date that he's had. You know, they said, "Oh, we want you to move it to this. We want you to move it to that." But anyway, we went last year in October. It was, I think, the first show I was doing post lockdown, and Kokomo was one of our hot spots. It was usually higher up on the scale of emergency than Tippecanoe County, where I'm at. But Sean had everyone, including the vendors, wear masks. In fact, he sold the masks with his store logo, Comics Cubed. And that was your ticket. That was the ticket to get in. And you had to wear it properly over your nose and mouth. And my understanding is he might have thrown some people out that refused to do it, which yay for him. Especially now, since we're getting into the Delta variant. And, you know, I'm reading articles now about some venues with state permission are going to require proof that you were vaccinated, and how to do it on your phone, which is cool. So anyway, and you know, people are going to be faking that because some people are scum. But no, at one point, Sean got on the PA system and he said, "It's the top of the hours. Okay, volunteers, check the crowd. Make sure your masks are on over your mouth and your nose. And if someone doesn't, be rude." And I'm like, "Sean, I will love you forever." So anyway, good for them and good for us. I was wearing a face shield, so that I tend to wear those in venues like that. So it's easier on me and people can see my smiling face. Anyway, Scott Crocker says, "Okay, if somebody doesn't ask you to laugh like Skeletor today, I will do it." And I love your package. Ooh la la, says Sarah. Oh, those are the words I've been longing to hear, darling. And glad you like it. Bobby, no, I don't like it. I love it. And I love you. Thank you, Bobby. You are so cool. And Robert Bay says, "I'm sure Mattel appreciates you promoting for them." Why not? Why not? If they'll make more product like this, I will. I'm sure Bobby and I will keep buying it. We found them at Dollar Tree. Now, my local Dollar Tree, every Dollar Tree I've been to since I found the first 4 have been out of that. That's why when you find something at Dollar Tree, you got to buy it right then and there. Don't be thinking, "Well, I'll just come back later and see if they've got any left." No, if you want it, you buy it right then. Because I've lost out on a couple things this year because of that thinking. And it's only $1. What the hell? So anyway, yeah. And if Mattel wants to send me some sponsorship money or some toys or stuff, I will gleefully take it, Robert. You want Pride? That's the next podcaster. And Grant Langer says, "You know, Michaela, the other place they sing in that song, the Poconos, is in Pennsylvania. I've always wanted to visit because the hotel scenes from Superman 2 were filmed there." That's right. That's a good observation. And Grant, we got to get you to Superman Celebration, and you, Michaela. That's always a good time. I got Stacey Haydick's autograph and I got a hug from her. Oh boy. And Sarah says, "I sold a huge shipment variant gun. I wanted to dive into that." Yeah, that was quite that palette of comic books. And to know that he's got like his Kickstarter or his Indiegogo campaign fulfillment pretty much done, I think that's damned impressive. He and Randy and Lola did and everyone else involved did a super job on that. I'm looking forward to getting my copies of Indie Revolt. And I've got a proposal in to Randy. Haven't heard anything back, but I'm going to nag him about it soon. And the Historical Fencing Guild says, I am really impressed with folks trying so hard to get into games. It takes a lot of research and work. It does. It does. And just the sheer writing of the books themselves is a monumental task. Cookie and I were helping with a book. This is probably about 10, 15 years ago. A friend of ours had created a role-playing mechanic system, and we were trying to develop that. And it finally got it kind of got unwieldy, and they, and the guy spearheading this, really, God bless him, didn't want to go into business. Now he does. So he's a little more entrepreneurial these days. And it's a lot easier now, especially with print on demand, to get these kind of things put together and out before the public. But I love your system, Nick. I really do. I am so looking forward to my copy of your role-playing game for Hybrids and Sons of God to show up on my doorstep. And I'm covering Animal Eye tonight on New Comics Yum, says John B. Pica. Cool. I will try. I will do my best to tune in tonight, John. I may heckle, or who knows what I'll do. I never know what I'm doing, and I'm the host of this show. But anyway, looking forward to your opinion of it. I loved it. I seriously did. But I feel I can't review it on Comic Book Spectrum because I'm one of the people that taught Cindy how to write comics, and I have a certain emotional investment in it. I'll reply to a review, but I don't feel I can. I should leave the reviews to somebody far more impartial than I am. But we've got a couple surprises coming up, and I think you'll be pleased by him. Scott Cracker says, I just want to let everyone hear in on a little secret. If you think you like the rain, you are wrong. The rain sucks. In fact, weather in general sucks. You don't want to know why? I don't like having to sit in traffic for over an hour because of 4 semi-truck pileup, and now I'm behind, and I don't feel good, and I haven't eaten anything, and the censorship button kicked in. And today just sucks. Skunk, it'll get better, brother. Get home, make some music, make some video. And if you need some video, contact Skunk. He's a cool guy. He'll put his man Kyle to work. Anyway, but no, Skunk, it'll get better, brother. The day has to end eventually, and then you can work for you. And BKM says, John B. Pica, display those in a baseball bat display case available at Hobby Life. Ooh, yeah, good point. Good point. Sometimes what I do, because they're light, I take a little poster tack and I put them up on a wall. I want to display a lot of my stuff in the basement, where one of the projects Cookie and I are looking to do this before summer ends is repaint the front room and move a lot of the books and paraphernalia we've got down there into the basement and make it kind of like Geek Central down there. And we'll have much of our library upstairs. And we're looking at a visit to IKEA pretty soon. So, yeah, but that's a good suggestion, John. I will look into that. Thank you, my friend. And I noticed a trend developing, Skunk. Yeah. Hopefully he can turn it around. And you just can't help those accidents, man. That's beyond your control. So just flow. Just go with the flow. And the artwork of Bill Sarton says, join the Far Out and Groovy Kids by clicking on SartArt76 on Facebook for better days from yesteryear. His snazzy, jazzy sketches and other great goodies will tickle your innards just like old-time Mountain Dew and warm your heart. Plus, his artwork is always available for purchase safe and securely through PayPal. So hit that follow button on the artwork of Bill Sarton where everything old is new again. Check it out. And definitely going to need a podiatrist after yesterday. Yes, you will, Sarah, and I understand. I mean, I understand. This is going to be vague booking for everyone else. I mean, one part of me understands that. But if that's not helpful to you, he needs to stop this right now. Seriously. And Scott Carker says, is that trend basically my life is a living hell? No. If so, I'm not disagreeing with you at all. I think you nailed it. I think you're both wrong. I think it's just a glitch in the matrix, Skunk, okay? And BKM, did you pick up Heroes Union #1? Oh, is that out yet? I have not gone to the comic shop today. And sometimes they're a week behind in some releases, or I think sometimes they ignore or they adhere to the sell-by date. But no, I haven't been there yet. I hope it's out. I'm looking forward to that so much. That's going to be good. And when I do, I'll shout it from the heavens. That'll probably be my book to review. But thank you for the reminder, John. Scott Cracker says, I'm not saying that Betamax tapes just suddenly vanished into thin air on January 1st, 1990. I'm saying that movie never came out on Betamax because they weren't manufacturing them anymore. No, that's true. The companies weren't making, that long since abandoned Betamax as a viable means of selling movies. I'm just saying it wasn't done by the companies. Okay. So that's what I meant. I'm sorry I wasn't clear. And don't go in the front, huge door in the rear, easy load in. Yes, get it down, Eric. Hey, Eric, I know it's a drive for you, buddy. Would you be interested too? If so, contact Sean D. Hilton, tell him I sent you. All right. It's a 10 by 10 space for $99. John B. Pica, I don't know if you'd be interested too, because I know you're a busy dude. But it's Saturday the 21st from about 10 till 4 or 5. I don't remember what very rarely do Comic Cons last as long as, they're supposed to. But good traffic, well organized, good volunteers, and Sean's a delight. He really is. Plus, you guys got to get to Geek Street too. If you can get down the day before, because there's where Sean's store Comics Cubed is. He's at one end of the block, and along that one strip in the downtown, there is a magnificent toy store there. A lot of great toys, even Funko, and a lot of Funkos, Eric. A lot of Funkos. Along with a music store, a beautiful used bookstore that I'm hoping to get a signing in there one day, and some other really delightful things. A nice Irish pub across the way. Lots of great atmosphere. It's just a great downtown, and it really tickles me to go down there and see that Kokomo is viable. It's really great. And Sarah, and a proctologist for the other part in this topic. Anyway, I got this. I know you do, Sarah. That's because you're awesome. You really are. Don't let anybody tell you differently. And Grant Lankard Skunk, it seems like every day you say you're having a terrible day, so it may be time to reevaluate things. This is meant as a friendly advice, not nagging. Yeah, I say that when I was fired from the water company, yeah, I was making really good money. But it was the best day. Next to my wedding, it was the best day of my life because it freed me up to do what Brian wanted to do all his life. And now I'm doing it. I'm living my best life, pretty much. I got you guys and gals, and I'm surrounded by friends. You don't know how happy it makes me to go into a show and know I've got friends there automatically. I've got friends. And it's just, an old curmudgeon like me, I feel my heart growing 3 sizes. My left arm goes numb, and I have to call the doctor. Anyway, but it's worth it. John B. Pike, if anyone needs blank vaccination cards, I know a guy. You didn't hear that here. You didn't hear that here. And Historical Fencing Guild, I am seeing Halloween candy hits, so I can get new home decor items. Yeah, that's right. We are entering. I'm starting to see the season. I see already that the former H.H. Gregg store in town has got the Spirit Halloween banner up. I'm ready. I love Halloween. It is a great holiday for me. And so many of us creatives, it's like, let's keep Halloween in our hearts. You know what I'm saying? And I hate the war on Halloween. Anyway, Damian Waldron, good to see you, my friend. Good morning. Check Dollar Tree's website. You can find a lot of what they've sold out in stores. Yeah. In fact, I just picked up a knife, a 7-in-1 knife kit for $1 there. And this blade, I could do freaking surgery with it. Do I still? Yeah, I still got it in my pocket. $1, and it's got a nice grip on it. It's got a bottle opener, a can opener, scissors, a blade that I actually cut myself with the other day, a Phillips screwdriver, a regular screwdriver head, and of course, if you know me at all, people, it's got the most important thing on here. If I can pull this out, because it got tied up here. Let me find it. Here we go. All right, here we go. This is maybe the most important thing on here. There we go. Let me put that back in place. There we go. Yeah, I didn't know it was an operation. There's my screen print. Let's see. There we go. All right, took my screen captures. But yeah, this is really nice, and it's only $1, and I don't expect it to last forever. But it's handy. It is. There are times when I'm on the road and I need a knife to like open a package or something, or I need a screwdriver. Yeah, I cut my thumb and my index finger the other day. You can't see it because of my mutant healing ability. But yeah, good morning to you, Damien. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, Dollar Tree is. I love shopping there because I never know what I'm going to see. And they sell a lot of good products there too. Johnny Pica says to get great Masters of the Universe toys, visit the sponsors page at backofthecerealbox.fun. Ooh, we got to get that. And it supports John, and that's all worth it too. Check him out Saturday mornings, Back of the Cereal Box. Also check out his network. He's got some super shows that I'm totally envious of. And Tabitha Dipple Brown says, my Etsy needs a polishing today. Off to tend to that. Stay safe, peeps. Hey, Tabitha, have a fantastic day. So glad to have you here, and hope your day is as awesome as you are. And Damien, I'll be vague booking. I'll be getting back to you on that matter yesterday, and Cookie and I both love what we're seeing, and we also love Sarah. Sarah, I think it was 3 pallets of comics with Variant. I may be wrong. It was just a lot either way. Well, yeah, because he's not only got the Indiegogo people to take care of, he's got stores that ordered and all kinds of stuff, plus contributor copies too. So, and Randy said, I heard the other day that Randy said that if he recognized your name on the packing label, you may wind up with some extra comics. So hopefully he's the one to pack my things. I'm an old Arrow comics fan. I was a Randy Zimmerman fan from way back before I knew him. And yes, Sarah, one of these I'm planning very soon to be on. To get back on Sunday Funnies because we love that show and I miss those guys. So anyway, yeah, it was a lot of comics, but they got them out in record time. I'm very proud of them. I really am. And morning Brian, late again from that's the small price publisher Joe D. McPhee. Dude, you're worth waiting on. Okay, whenever you get here, you're on time. All right. And also check out From the Desk of the Small Press Publisher on YouTube on Saturday nights, where Joe always has great interviews and great stuff. And he's usually in our audience for Comic Book Spectrum. And I got to keep tabs. Now, remind me, don't let me forget, you're going to be on episode 30, whether we have somebody drop out or not. So, Ace Bonnie, my Dollar Tree has been closed. I don't think they have enough workers to operate. It's sad. Oh, that's the thing right now. The shortage of workers is very real. I think it's going to change pretty soon as states are getting tougher on unemployment because the problem was during the COVID, the federal government pumped a lot of money into the unemployment system, and thank God for it. It helped a lot of people, ourselves included. But a number of people were making more on unemployment than they were being employed. And it's, and sometimes you can stay on, a lot of states just have you on for 6 months, but some states you can get longer. When I lost my job at the water company, I was actually on for 18 months. And then the federal money just ran out, and I just walked in one day, said I didn't get a check. And they said, well, we told you, we're sorry. We're sorry you're not getting it. We wish we could give it to you. I said, okay, no problem. No harm, no foul. Thanks, guys, for everything. And then I became an independent publisher for sure because I had no plan B. But anyway, in someplace I was scouting out also were Dollar Generals because I found out they're owned by the same company. So, in fact, we had one of our Dollar Generals turn into a Dollar Tree a couple of years ago. But that's good to know. So I was wondering if the toys maybe wound up there. Ace Bonnie says, if BKM asks to go to the basement, do you go or not? Well, the thing is, truth in advertising, Ace. I do tell people about the sex dungeon down there and the burial plots for the various dregs of society. So yeah, I'm pretty open about it. Plus, we have books down there and a toilet and a washing machine, so it all works. That's a small price publisher. Hope all is well there. Hope all is well there. It is. I just can't talk. That's the problem. Getting things done at 9 to 5 with backlog issues. Oh, brother, I hear you. That's the sort of constipation we don't need in our days. Anyway, Joe, I wish you luck with your backlog there. I know you'll do it. I know you'll get it done. Also, check out Joe D. McPhee on Comixology, and please check out his show on Saturday night and subscribe. I swear his channel needs, he needs a lot of more subscribers because he does so much great work. He really does on his show. It's a great show and a great interview every Saturday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central. Sarah, bad days luckily passed. Just bear with what's going on from moment to moment until it's not so crappy. Yeah, you've always got some, and it's always good sometimes it's nice to know you've got somebody you can vent with, and I'm always here for you, okay? And huge door in the rear under the sheets. Sarah's starting it again. Oh, I shouldn't read comments like that. And anyway, we are booked at CreepyCon in Knoxville that day. Okay, John. I just know you're like me, you're crazy busy, so that's why you didn't get the word, but good luck, brother. Good luck. And it really was good seeing you last weekend, man. I just wish it's one of those things. I wish I could spend more time with a lot of people down there, but it just didn't happen this year. And Sarah, cool name for a con. Yeah, CreepyCon. I like that. Yeah, it goes back to I think it was our discussion last night. And John, but I think we have to do a road trip episode to Geek Street in Kokomo. Brother, you do that thing. Let's coordinate. I would love to hang with you at that one. That would be fun. And I think Sean would probably give you a good tour of the comic shop. It's very intimate. It's not like a huge place, but he carries a huge variety of things. Plus, Sean also does a live show selling stock on Wednesdays and Saturdays. That if you aren't watching, if you aren't subscribed to the Comics Cubed and Kokomo channel, you really should. Sean does mail order too. I know. I have taken advantage of this. Plus, he sells the latest issues, variants, and back issues too. I picked up some really cool stuff, John. I have some Superboys and an Action Comics and a Kid Colt Outlaw from the early 50s. Don't tell me I'm not happy. Anyway, but yeah, he's a really, really good guy. I think you would dig him. And Eric Hawkins, I would consider it, but still knee deep in fulfillment. So many backers, so many sketch cards, so many sketch covers. One backer ordered 3 sketch cards, multiple orders. Okay. I knew you were busy too. I didn't realize that that was the phase of fulfillment. And we talked about Kickstarter last night. Charles Santino had an interesting philosophy and was kind of almost pushed to launching his Rammer project at the insistence of Indiegogo. It's like, it's been 60 days. Don't either poop or get off the pot, one of the two. But anyway, good luck with your fulfillment, Eric. And Sarah, gonna snuggle in my blankets and take you with me. See you, folks. Bye. This has been the end of the show. Anyway, I'll take that image with me all day, Sarah. And John B. Pica. Oh, our newsletter is getting pushed out at 11 a.m. Central today. It's not too late to get on the list at backofthecerealbox.fun. I got to sign up for that, dude. I got to sign up for that. I'm going to make myself a note and take care of that. Back of the cereal box.fun. I love that domain. That is great, John. That is super, super cool. And the artwork of Bill Sargent says the drummer from The Offspring was dropped by the band from their forthcoming tour after he didn't get the COVID vaccine. What the drive-by media doesn't tell you is that the reason is his doctor advised him not to get the jab because he has the autoimmune disorder Guillain-Barré syndrome, where the person's immune system severely damages their nerves. Yeah, the drummer has had this since childhood and gotten worse over time. Anyone who would attempt to shame those suffering from this are as evil and it got cut off there. I speak in generalities. Most people do not have issues with the vaccine. Many who do or would be like the flu vaccine is in an egg medium, egg-based medium, and a number of people have allergies to eggs, such as skunk rocker. But for the people who are, and I address my comments to the people who are listening to some conspiracy Yahoo on YouTube or some guy at the end of the bar, the best advice I've ever heard came from a YouTuber named Dr. Mike, who is an actual doctor, who recommends we get the vaccine and follow the CDC guidelines just the same. I still carry my mask with me just to be careful. And I do socially distance, from a lot of people, even before this thing started. But the thing is, I don't do it as shaming. I do it as education. And there is education out there. Don't be listening to Alex Jones. Don't be listening to Tucker Carlson. Don't even go to your doctor. Go to a nurse. Ask a nurse what they say about it. Okay, because nurses deal with patients on a more intimate basis than a lot of doctors. Nurses know how to explain it. So talk to your nurse. If your doctor says don't get it, then follow his or her advice. But otherwise, get the jab. All right? We want you with us. And everyone should carry a knife every day. I am passionate about sane preparedness. I agree, Historical Fencing Guild, Nick Tuckard. I've carried like a blade on me since about 1999 or no, was it about 2000? I got something from, of all people, the Illinois Department of Transportation. And of course, the blade had gotten so dull. All it was good for was like poking, opening packages. But I got this and I'm carrying it now because there are times you need a sharp knife or a pair of scissors. And this was really nice. In fact, if I'm going to Dollar Tree later to look for a mailing envelope for something I'm sending to Bobby Nash. And it's like, it's good to have that thing. It's good to have a nice sharp knife. And if they have more there, I'm going to buy a couple just to have them. Eric Hawkins just got notification that Geiger number 5 has been pulled for me and is waiting. I love that book. Yeah, somebody mentioned Geiger to me last night or the other day. I'm waiting for the trade on that, but you make it sound good. I love your reviews on that, Eric. If you want to hear more, go to Comic Book Spectrum. Our past catalog is on the Rising Tide Publications, Rising Tide, Brian K. Morris - Rising Tide page on YouTube. And Lynn Bush, my darling, have to run and do some actual work. Ooh, love the package reveal, of course. Although they are still missing Evil Lynn. I know, right? See you, Orko. Mwah, Evil Lynn. You're my darling, Evil Lynn. I hope you have a great day. Much love to Paul and the rest of the family, okay? Yeah, I'm hoping there'll be a second series because I'd love to see an Evil Lynn. Maybe the parents of He-Man. I'd like that. And there's a couple other of the cast I would love to see. Or was it Ratchet Jaw or whatever? I always love that character. And whatever happened to all the Zeta reticulants who were all like taking our jobs? Why aren't they at Dollar Tree and McDonald's? See? And the thing is, Carl, I've talked to several business people here in Lafayette, and they all say, if you could pass a drug test, which may be the key, if you could pass a drug test, you can get a job in Indiana. From the time I moved here in 2014, I can't go a day without driving someplace that's looking for help. And especially right now, we've got several, especially in the food industry, if you want an entry-level position at the food industry, man, now's the time to get it. Because, a lot of our downtown restaurants, can't open full hours or offer full services because they just don't have the wait staff. And some of these positions pay pretty good. And speaking of good, there's Pops and Zant with Comics Talk. Hey, yo, how y'all doing today? We are doing great, my brother. How the heck are you today? And Cindy kept, good morning. Good morning to the wonderful creator of Animal Eye, both the novel and the amazing comic book. And you were, and Charles was really knocked out by what he saw last night of Animal Eye. And very cool, Cindy. We love you. And Armor Forged by a God, that's Volcana. You can get that on Smashwords. That's my book there. Thank you so much. And CromCon Europe, number 2, August 28th or 29th, yet to be determined. Keep us posted, Pops, so we can promote. Maybe we'll even get in on that. Who knows? And whoa! And that's Satisfying on Amazon. Check out my catalog on Amazon. Thank you, Cindy. And Kid Colt. Yeah, Kid Colt Outlaw number 13. I don't know how familiar you are with the title, but it's so old, Jack Keller wasn't on the book yet. And it wasn't Stan Lee who wrote it. I did see the comics.org, the Grand Comics database listing for it. I don't remember who drew it. I think Saul Brodsky had some art in there. But it's lovely, lovely stories, lovely art. I always love the Marvel Westerns. And in putting my collection back together post-move, I found that I need less than 40 issues of not Kid Cold Outlaw. I need a lot of those, but I have less than 40 issues of Rawhide Kid, and I'll have them all. I'm thinking that might be a goal. That might be a bucket thing. But I've got like a Kirby issue. I've got a Jack Davis Rawhide Kid issue. And then I've got like the complete run of Larry Lieber and all the ending reprints. So yay me. So anyway, yeah, Kid Cold Outlaw, man. I dig that stuff. And Simple Swords Fighting Axes, you can get that from Nicholas Anthony Tuckert, available on Amazon. Also check out his wife Amanda's work. She is amazing, as is John B. Pica. And check out Nightreich, brand new thriller from John B. Pica, available now on Amazon. It is good. And I'm doing a series of live shows, says Grant Lankard, reviewing the Sandman comics from the 90s. I don't want to compete with Brian since it's on the same time as Comic Book Spectrum. Oh, that's fine. They can watch one of us on the rerun. We're still good. It's all, you do it when it's convenient for you, Grant. It's all good, man. But yeah, if you haven't read that yet, and I hope you have, Sandman is one of the best comic books ever produced. Neil Gaiman is a genius. And it's a book that's got superheroics, high fantasy, day-to-day living, brings in characters from the DC universe, does amazing things with them. And it's just a really, really brilliant book. And that should be on, I think there's like 7 volumes of reprints, and that should be in everyone's library, along with like Watchmen, the works of Will Eisner, selected Jack Kirby work, and Steve Ditko. It's just genius work. It really is. And Traveling TARDISes are legendary every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Check out last night's episode as they discussed the announced departure of Jodie Whittaker and showrunner Chris Chibnall, with this ending the season in 2022. Not enough Jodie. Wanted more Jodie. I loved her. I love her doctor. I really do. She is brilliant. And I've liked the scripts more than a lot of people have. And some of them I put up there with Moffat or Davies. They're that good. Real thrilling. And I like The Nightmare Child. I don't care what anyone says. I think it expands the Whoniverse greatly. But I see that one person is lobbying to become the script editor, and it's, of all people, J. Michael Straczynski of Babylon 5 fame. That he said that if they'll allow an American to work on a Brit classic, that he would love to be the showrunner. I'd love to see him as the showrunner. That would be great. And tune in after Comic Book Spectrum. Oh, we will. And Grant, remind us. We'll try to steer some people your way, or bop on in and put in a plug. Okay, we are not competitors. We are allies. And so go check out Vintage Cartoonist, says Cindy Cap, CKOEPP.com. Check out her newsletter, because it's the bomb. It is bomb-digalicious. Anyway, Star Nerd 76 on Facebook. Sign up for that page. And Grant Lankard continues, I don't think Facebook or YouTube will let me share links for the show, but you can DM me if you want the link. You can always write it out like www, then write out the word dot, and just do it in a longhand that way. And also, if you want the Dastardly Dingoes podcast, Dangos are dastardly in broadcast. They are, and it's Brian and Chad and Jeremy, 3 of the most fun commentators around, and the show is brilliant. Please check out the Dastardly Dingoes podcast. And also Nerd Culture, you want it, you can get it from Ryan Permison at that email, or rather that YouTube address. And all I got, Brian's like, I got to take care of that, and then writes it down like the show is going to end before 11 o'clock Central. Let's see. Challenge accepted. I know you guys will me up on that, but anyway, I know better than to say stop typing, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, Amazonia from Joe D. McPhee. You need it, you want it. Check out his channel on YouTube every Saturday night at 10 p.m. Great conversation every time. And Carl knows to not die. Feed Donna, says Carl Witzman. Might be leaving early. You all choose to have a good day. I choose that you have one too as well, Carl. You and Donna have a great day if you got to head out, all right? And I mask up all the time, says Jody McPhee from the desk of the Small Press Publisher. Despite being vaccinated, it's not due to paranoia. I just see history repeating itself. Look at Philadelphia during the Spanish flu. Yeah, and a really sobering statistic came out from the Center for Disease Control that in the month of June, 99.9% of all deaths related to COVID came from people who were unvaccinated. They say that the vaccine does provide protection against the Delta variant. And I'm also hearing that Moderna and Pfizer are going to be including Delta in, or whatever the latest version is, by fall. Actually, we're getting close enough that probably can't do anything past Delta unless it's unveiled itself. But they are going to figure a booster shot will not hurt you. So they're going to be including that with the flu shot this year. So just, we try to keep up on it. But if anyone has conflicting information, we do listen. But we're going to check you out too. But yeah, I agree with you, man. That's why I keep my mask with me at all times. If nothing, it's a courtesy. It's why one of the reasons I got the vaccine. It is to make other people more comfortable around me. Cindy Cap says, where I work, where we eventually get back to the office, forbids weapons of all sorts, even pocket knives. In some environments, I can see that. I understand that completely. Because you never know when somebody's going to snap. But for what I do, my boss said I could have it. And Geiger is a lot of fun, says John B. Pike. Yeah, what you and Eric have been saying about it makes me definitely want to read it. Of course, I like the creative team, too. Cindy Cap Neuroses just got a new review. Check it out on Amazon by Amy Hale. We'll have a trailer for that at the end of the show. It's going to be great. And BKM pulls out his pocket knife. Hashtag laugh like Skeletor. I will, Ace Bonnie, I will. Anyway, yeah. And every time you guys say something like that, I hear Steven Tyler as I pull up my big 10-inch record of the band that sings. Anyway, Warriors in Triplicate. Check out Michaela Jade's Warriors trilogy out right now on Amazon. It is good reading. She is an amazing writer, as is Cindy Cap at CKOEPP.com. Check out her newsletter. There's a link on her newsletter. Check out her newsletter. Check out her work. She's a fantastic writer. And poetry from Teresa Dunn, both volumes of Poetry Expressions available now on Amazon. And I did read that part 2 of the Masters of the Universe will focus a lot on Evil Lynn. Lynn Bush, I hope you're listening to that, Rick. And Rick, thank you again. I'm going to check it out soon. Cindy Kep says the Historical Fencing Guild every Friday night at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. It is a great way to learn how to kill your friends safely. So please check it out. And Nick Tockert is such a great host. It is always fun and engaging. He is wonderful. And Orko, I love his backstory in the hated version of Masters of the Universe. Like, Orko isn't his real name. He was known by that because he couldn't pronounce his name correctly. That's right. That's right. Yeah, that's the thing. There's a lot to the backstory of the Masters of the Universe. I read that book that reprinted the old comics that came with the toys. And that was really interesting. A lot of people went on to other things, like Larry Houston became a noted Saturday morning animator. Bruce Timm did a lot of work for those. Who else? I think Alfredo Alcala had some work in them, and some of the writing was by some mainstream comic book writers. But yeah, it's like He-Man's origins just slightly, significantly different in the original comics from the toys. And CromCon Europe, for European creators, you moving sometime soon? Whether I have a choice or not, Pops fans, I see the pitchforks and the torches coming this way. Cindy Cap, you want to see Comic Talk with Pops Van Zandt? Then you need that YouTube link there, and please subscribe while you're there. And please subscribe to us if you're watching on YouTube, because we appreciate you so very much. And we thank everyone on Twitch too. We don't give you guys enough love either. We should. John B. Pica for an amazing review and analysis of Masters of the Universe. Check out the back of the cereal box. Fun, definitely. And definitely check out Hybrids, The Sons of God. It's a great comic book series by Luke Stone, available at LukeStoneStudios.com. And I love the Marvel Westerns. I do too. I really do. I will probably give up my superhero side of the Marvel Universe before I give up my Westerns. Those are great little stories in each and every one of them. And to me, a lot of them are comics as they should be. And Larry Lieber should be celebrated a lot more than he is. He did a phenomenal run as not just writer, but artist on Rawhide Kid. And he wrote some episodes of Kid Colt, and I think Two Gun Kid as well. But yeah, there's some good stuff. And Denny O'Neil wrote some Westerns. I think Roy Thomas wrote one or two. Steve Skates wrote some. So there's some great talent in those old comics. There really are. And Gene Colan drew a lot of backup strips for him too. It's wonderful stuff. Wonderful. And Charles Millhouse, hello, watching us on YouTube. Good to see you, Charles. And Charles will be on the guests along with Bobby Nash this coming Tuesday on Clever Tile Pending. So please check it out and take a nap, folks. We're bringing Bobby and Charles and me together. There will be conversation. We'll go into the wee smalls on this one. And more than powerful stories, check out Bear Publications. Check out the work of Cindy Kep on there, including Animal Eye. Not just the comic book, but the novel. Check it out. I'm going to read that when I get my copy. And Worldly Zombies in Oz. Check out the work of Eric S. Hawkins, available at on Comixology and also in demand on Indiegogo. So please give them some love. And also, you want brown coats in Kentucky, check out renmelian.com. We love you, Renmelian. You are awesome. And Damian Waldron, Jack Kirby is my spirit guide. I understand that completely. You know, and when I write a script, I sometimes write them as, most of the time I don't know who's going to draw them, okay? And I have had some artists where I've had to idiot-proof my scripts. But there are some people like Eric, who I'm in simpatico with. Another friend of mine, Claudio Adriano, who, he gets me. He gets me. Due to cultural differences, he will ask me about what I mean by sometimes. But it makes me a better writer because I realize I have to write like that. But I sometimes imagine who would draw this comic, and I actually think Jack Kirby for a lot of things. Wishing Jack, like late 50s, early 60s, Jack Kirby was drawing. And Claudio has developed a real Kirby-centric style that's beautiful. He understands what makes Kirby work. And there's something coming out from Grant Lankard where you'll get to see the glorious results. And John B. Pica says, and for a great review of Web of Black Widow by Kelly Guntner. I love her. Check out the back issue Breakfast Club this AM on that back of the cereal box or backofthecerealbox.fun. And September 25th, Cindy Kep will be at the Indie Author Book Expo in Omaha, Nebraska. Oh, cool. That is awesome. I don't know if I think we have one maybe for up northern Illinois. I don't know if that ever materialized. John B. Pica says J. Michael had a great run on Amazing Spider-Man. He did. He wrote some brilliant issues. I only have a couple of them that I had any issues with. And of course, one was One More Day. I really didn't like that, but I understand a lot of that was dictated from on high. And Michael has said that he stayed on the script to make sure that somebody else didn't come in and undo a lot of the stuff that he had already set up. It wasn't just for the dollar, but it was basically to protect a character he loved. And I didn't care for that two-parter with Gwen and Norman Osborn, and I know you know which one I mean. I thought that's a little creepy. More like, ew. And when I think it's creepy, it's horrible. But I loved his Thor. He did a 12-issue run on Thor that, oh my God, brought it back. It didn't invalidate anything that was going on that had built up to that point by people like Dan Jurgens and Roy Thomas and stuff. But it brought it back to a place where it's more like the old Stan Lee Jack Kirby with the dual identity and everything. I think that's something Thor's been missing for a long time, and I miss it too. Cindy Kep is also going to be at the Dubuque Comic and Toy Expo, the return of QuadCon 5 Flags event center on October 31st, and she's going to bring all kinds of fun stuff that you're going to need to own it. So check out Cindy. Yeah, unfortunately, Cindy and Michaela, I checked the rest of the schedule for QuadCon, and I already have a show on all those dates. So next year, just like the Cubs. And what's the best thing to do on Saturday mornings? Asks the artwork of Bill Sarn. Eating your favorite sugar cereal and watching classic cartoons, which you can do when you join the Everyday is Saturday Facebook group. We feature the best in cartoons from the 50s through the 80s, classic Saturday morning cartoon commercials, and public service announcements, Schoolhouse Rock, and so much more that you won't see anyplace else. You need to check that out. It's good stuff from Bill. It really is. And Halloween Comic and Toy Show, QuadCon Des Moines, geeky fun for all. And sign up for Rising Tide's newsletter at risingtide.pub. You'll see a link towards the top. It'll lead you right to where you can sign up for it personally. Or you can send it to me via Facebook Direct Messenger. Send me your email address. And we do not share, sell, rent, barter, fold, spin, or spindle, fold, or mutilate your contact information. It stays with us. No spam unless it's from us. Thank you, Cindy. We love you. And hashtag bring cookie home. Don't forget to tip your host. Thank you. Go to paypal.me/rising tide BKM. Thank you, Cindy. Mwah. And please check out Animal Eye. It is a sensational comic book. And Bill, we are looking to team up with other groups for Back of the Cereal Box. Just saying, says John B. Pica. And Delta variant deaths are 1 in 1 million. I know that we still have the original floating around. We can't get rid of that. But it's just the idea that 99.9% of COVID-related deaths, according to the CDC, was a little sobering, you know? And I'm in health insurance, and we are obviously on the front lines here. I know it, man. You're one of my sources. You know what I'm saying? I listen to you. And today, Grant is lucky. Today, Angie is not dying. Angie is feeling Grant. Angie is feeding Grant. I thought Angie is feeling Grant. I'm like, wow, you dude. Lucky you. And today, Grant is lucky. And today, Angie is not dying. Angie is feeding Grant. Well, good for you, Angie. Don't die. Feed Grant. I hear this a lot or something similar. Good for you, Grant. Enjoy. Bon appetit. And Skunk, DM me about doing some promo videos with Back of the Cereal Box. There we go. And Cindy Cap says, oh, out of break too soon. I'll be around. I look funny with corners. I don't know. You could rock the corner look, girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? You got the style. You got the look. You got the look. What could make a brown-eyed girl eyes turn blue? Anyway, enough Roxette for this morning. Go join the fun on patreon.com/CKOEPP.com or CKOEPP. Excuse me. I've conditioned myself. I just finished Freelance Words. Next up by popular vote will be Proxygean Press. Trouble is for the Birds. Yeah, check it out. She's been releasing samples of her upcoming works, and oh boy, it's good. It's good stuff. I'm loving it. I really am. And the Historical Fencing Guild. In the case of weapon bans in offices, there are several quality types of scissors. Fiskars comes immediately to mind that can be separated for knife-like applications. Yes. And for many people in offices, active shooter training is real good too. Since I worked in the water industry after 9/11, I have terrorist training. I'm the guy you want to be with when the crap happens. And for anyone or whether you're in a mall, here's our public service announcement. First thing is get out. Get out of there. You don't need to know what's going on. You hear something weird, get the hell out of the building, because at that point, you're more of a problem than the solution. You can read about it in the newspaper later. And then once you're outside, call for help. Call 911. And if you can't get out, then find a place to hide. Someplace preferably where you can block a door. Following that, just do what you're told. And when the police come in, do what you're told. Don't engage them in conversation. Don't ask them, because their job is to get you the hell out of there, out of the line of fire, so they can do their work. So whether it's a bad guy capturing you, you do what you're told. It'll keep you alive. And if it's a cop or a SWAT member or a member of the military, you do what you're told. You shut up, don't ask questions, and let them get you to a place of safety. Okay, end of PSA. And did you watch Ryan Permission's Geek at Birth with special guest Willow Schuyler as the artwork of Bill Sartin? Check it out for insightful commentary, and you'll also see the artwork and logo that I created for the show. Very cool, Bill. Very cool. And Orko's story arc in the Netflix series is the best. Want to see great storytelling? The re-entrance of Orko through the end of the story. Ooh, I'm definitely going to watch that now. And the Historical Fencing Guild, I Can Talk Alternative Defensive Weapons this Friday on the HFG live stream if folks have interest. That sounds cool, because we hear a lot about offensive. But using this stuff, I call it Chan Fu. Like Jackie Chan picks up like a ladder and uses it as a weapon. Things that we can use around us to use as defensive weaponry. I think it'd be cool. My favorite Marvel Western was the original Ghost Rider. Yeah, you could probably like the 50s Ghost Rider from Magazine Enterprises. It was good too, and it's basically the same character with just a couple of name changes. I think I'm really fond of that one. Two Gun Kid is John B. Pica's favorite. Yeah, the masked version of Two Gun Kid, because there was an earlier version where he's like a prairie troubadour. which was okay. There were good stories there. Kid Colt was always my favorite, though. The fugitive type thing. And there were some issues where it got a little weird. All the westerns got a little weird. They introduced like sci-fi elements, and like Rawhide Kid and Kid Colt are suddenly fighting aliens and shit. But pardon me, but it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I have a soft spot for Western comics, especially Marvel, but love Jonah Hex from DC. Charles Milhouse, I agree. StormgatePress.com. I loved Jonah Hex and the early El Diablo. Oh wow, those were super books. I would so write a Western El Diablo book for DC, although I know I will never get the opportunity. But yeah, and Michael Fleischer wrote a long-running series, The Jonah Hex, that was so good. And there she is in the middle of doing her housewifery and feeding Grant. Angie Dudas, good morning, everyone. Mwah to you. Hope you're doing well this morning. And great shoe as always, Brian, but open toes and high heels is not my bag. No, you need white socks with that, right? Anyway, got a boogie for now, though. Everyone have a nice day and do good deeds. Vaya con dias, amigos. Happy trails till we meet again. Artwork of Bill Sartin, Sarnart76 on Facebook. Check it out. You'll be happy. And I did sign up for the Back of the Cereal Box newsletter. Hashtag laugh like the shadow. Who knows what Orko's storyline will be in the new Masters of Universe Netflix series? I don't know. We don't have Netflix in the 30s. See? And Scott Crocker says, I'm just in a haze at the moment. Aggravated because of the weather, wanting to be done with this crap already, trying not to say something smart-ass to Grant, wondering where Joe Dog is. Yeah, I got a note from Joe Dog last night. See, originally I had scheduled this show for 10:15 because Cookie had a doctor's appointment. And her arm is doing well, by the way. She is no longer on her pain meds, so that's a good thing. But I haven't heard from him this morning. Maybe he's sleeping in, Skunk. I hope that's the case. Charles Milhouse. When I was younger, I never appreciated Jack Kirby's art. Luckily, with age comes wisdom, and now I can't get enough of his work. I was the same way with Mike Sikowski and Don Heck. Sikowski was like, okay, they look like the other comics, but kind of blocky figures. And now I admire the storytelling. Same with Don Heck. I thought this scratchy stuff has got to go. But I see he's a strong storyteller too. And the thing is, the readers respond to that sort of thing. The truth is that George Perez drew the Justice League of America for a year. And then he gave it up because he was so busy at the Teen. I think it was about the time the New Teen Titans went monthly. Or not monthly, but 2 books at once. And he was like working on both of them to some degree. But but Don Heck took over, and sales actually went up under Don Heck. They hadn't changed anyone but the penciler, but people responded to Don Heck's artwork. It's good. He's an amazing storyteller, and he can draw real people. That's the thing. The Historical Fencing Guild says some elements of One More Day have real merit. Seeing the anger of Peter Parker actually made him feel more real. The Peter Iron Man fight was impressive and wasn't the Peter King threat in there. Yeah, I agree. I liked it all up until the Mephisto thing. And I just didn't like the idea that, and a lot of comics were doing this at the time, that, you can't have dramatic stories about a character if they're married. Baloney. Peter, it was the idea that Peter and Mary Jane had 2 different careers, and Peter was always still, even though he's sleeping with a supermodel, he was always still 2 steps forward, 1 step back kind of guy, which is the element of Spider-Man that makes it work, I think. And just the idea that I do like the idea that Mary Jane probably had an ace up her sleeve when she made the deal. But, the idea that Peter would in any way allow that to happen, just, that he just kind of gave up that, that hurt. And it hurt that the editorial team felt that, mostly Joe Quesada, I guess, because it sounds like he did a lot of the plotting on One More Day. But it's just like the idea that you can't have stories, valid, exciting stories about characters if they're married. Superman had been doing it for, at that point for 10 years. Um, and a lot of the Superman stuff that I enjoy best is because of the relationship with Clark and Lois being an equal partnership in their marriage. Um, and I've got 3 words that make, if anyone thinks that a married couple can't make a story work, The Thin Man. Read The Thin Man, watch the Thin Man movies, and you'll see a great married couple model there. And from the National Small Press Publisher, less than 28 minutes until it's hashtag time to feed Cookie. And Doris Jones, Labors of Love. Good morning, mwah, from YouTube. And speaking of labors of love, there is my love.
I made coffee.
I am happy boy. Oh, thank you, sweetheart.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Oh,
I got distracted. I'm sorry it's late.
that's all right. And we're all caught up, actually.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it won't last. But anyway, Doris, it's good to see you. Mwah. Hope you're doing well this morning. So, yeah, we're having a good day. And yes, love in a cup. You got that right, man. If God had made anything better in coffee, as far as food elements go, he kept it for himself. You know what I'm saying? I love coffee. I really do. And the nice thing about coffee, people, and I recognize not everyone likes coffee, but it actually has a lot of minerals and nutrients in it. Or actually, it's got like a lot of elements that are good for your, prolonging your life. And unless you're drinking like 4 or 5 pots a day like I do, it's actually good for your health. I have a feeling my heart would stop completely if I had no coffee. That's why, I have several medical conditions that may require surgery in years to come. And I dread going to the hospital because I know the first thing they're going to do is I won't have coffee for the first couple of days. And if they do, they'll give me decaf, at which point I'll be tying the sheets together and trying to escape. Or have Cookie sneak me in some Starbucks. Anyway, so the Charles Milhouse, a great comics fan himself, says the One More Day storyline in Amazing Spider-Man was interesting, but over the years they've worked their way out of that story. I think Peter's reason for making the deal was everyone knew his identity. Yeah, and saving Aunt May. I do give him that. And at that time, with what he had to work with, that was the most viable option. But yeah, it's kind of like they're getting back to it. Like they broke also, the New 52, they broke up all the relationships pretty much. So now, like when they started Superman over again, Lois Lane was actually dating someone else. And then they had to like connive to push the two back together. In fact, Superman was dating Wonder Woman at one point, and Lois was seeing another guy. And of course, Iris West is reintroduced to the Flash. They broke up Wally West's marriage, and they're screwing Wally West over something fierce. So seriously, there were some good moments in. I will give it. There were great moments in One More Day, which is basically, for those of you who don't know, Peter Parker is during the Civil War storyline that ran through Marvel. Peter Parker has revealed his identity as Spider-Man at the behest of Tony Stark, who of course everyone knows is Iron Man by now. And secret identities, that's another thing that's going out right now that I really miss. It's bad when Superman has revealed his secret identity. But anyway, during the course of the storyline, Aunt May is shot by someone trying to kill Spider-Man, and he's trying to save her. And he and Mary Jane are on the run, not only from the people trying to kill him, but also the Avengers themselves, because reasons. And so Mary Jane makes a deal with Mephisto that she would sell their marriage, their love with each other, to Mephisto in exchange for turning back time and changing things so that a lot of this stuff never happened. So no one knew who Peter Parker was again until he revealed his identity to them. And also that Aunt May would be fine, and life would have gone on. But in the process, they brought back like, who was it? The Osborn kid, because he had died by that point. And just a whole lot of continuity screw ups that so that they could be more like DC's continuity, which is all fouled up. So, but J. Michael Straczynski is also one of the most powerful writers. His 9/11 Spider-Man book remains a book that doesn't tug on my heartstring. It wraps its cords around my fingers and demands we pull. So powerful stuff, and I've loved just about everything. Plus, he wrote a really good book on script writing that I have in my library over there that is I need to reread one of these days. And yes, Orko did it. So from the Nashville Small Press Publisher, Orko's always in charge. And Coffee, the Sacred Bean, Damian Walbrun, you're right. It is the lubricant upon which the gears of creativity grind. And hi, happy boy, I'm Dad, says Skunk Rocker. Okay, I love your voice to text, and I'll put coffee in your IV. Ace Bonnie, you've just shot to the top of my Christmas card list. And the Historical Fencing Guild says you are totally right about the end of One More Day in Marriage in comics. Lazy writing is resetting the drama. Yeah, and they claim James Bond, or was it James Bond syndrome, like when Tracy was killed at the end of On Her Majesty's Secret Service. No, you make the marriage an element of the storytelling. It doesn't you don't need to have that sexual Dave and Maddie moonlighting tension all the time. Just the maintaining the marriage itself, keeping the other person safe. Because think about it. When people find out that Batman is Bruce Wayne, they go after Alfred. In fact, Alfred's dead right now. Notice I say right now. I think things will change. I mean, he grew his hand back with Rebirth. And the Historical Fencing Guild, I hate when they break up hard-earned relationships for dumb drama. Amen, brother. Amen. Will Schuyler says, whenever I go see the doctor about my inner ear issue / ear infection, I get asked how much caffeine I drink. I remind the doctor I work in a coffee shop. I literally breathe in coffee grinds every day. And Willow, I got to say, I thank you for your comments on Monday's show. Thank you. We can discuss it in DMs if you want, but thank you. I appreciate your viewpoint. Really, I do, and I agree. Do you think after Crisis, says Charles Millhouse, which was a fantastic story, DC shot themselves in the foot? They really didn't have a direction after that storyline. Well, I think I've said it before, Charles. I think one of the things where DC messed up with that, and with New 52, was internal politics. I've talked to some of the people involved in what was going on, and Marv Wolfman was kind of like the showrunner for that thing at first, but then he kind of delegated authority. Like Roy Thomas, he was told, okay, you're in charge of figuring out the Golden Age, and when you do, I'll do Silver Age, we'll get somebody else to do the Modern Age, we'll figure it out. But you had a number of the creators who were saying, I refuse to participate because I've worked for years building up these storylines. I'm not going to just push them out the window and bring everything back to square one just for this. They got all snooty about it, and and I think a way could have been found that maybe kick them out of make them out of the DC universe or whatever. But DC, their continuity is kind of convoluted, and it didn't help that 6 months in, 6 months to a year later, you're rebooting Superman and you're rebooting Wonder Woman, and books like Firestorm and Green Lantern didn't change at all. That they should have just basically do what New 52 did do more successfully, and that was put everybody back on square one, except, of course, the Jeff Johns books, because Jeff was high up in the corporation at that time, and he put his foot down and said, oh no, I'm not going to cooperate. So it's Flashpoint Green Lantern was no different than New 52 Green Lantern. It's just the same thing the next day. If they had started everybody else out at square one and said, hey, listen, we're starting this all over again, and you're going to get to see Superman grow. You're going to get to see Batman become the Dark Knight detective. You're going to see him pick up Robin in a year, that sort of thing. You're going to get to see Hal Jordan, but he doesn't know who's talking to him through the battery. Make it like the original comics and start from there, but with a modern storytelling point of view. And I was loving the Grant Morrison Superman, which was 5 years prior. I was enjoying Justice League, which was like 5 years prior, and then bring them up, and then bring them. But I would have like made Justice League like, okay, this takes place 6 months from now, where the heroes realize, well, there's other heroes popping up. We gotta get together and make a united front. So this is something we should talk about on Comic Book Spectrum sometime, about comic book continuity and how you all feel about it. And for once, the voice to text works perfectly and conveys my exact message, and Brian makes fun of it. No, it's just that I really was having trouble understanding it. So I've only had one grinds packet and two. I'm 2 sips into my second cup of coffee, so I'm operating at a loss here, Skunk. I am at a deficit. About 2 hours after the show is over, I'll be ready to broadcast. So less than 12 minutes, and it's time to feed Cookie. I'm almost there, man. I'm almost there. Comics Talk with Pops Van Zandt. The Madness Art Auction is August 13th. If you'd like to submit something for auction, hit that man up. And that looks like fun. That looks fun. Yeah, Witch Crisis. Yeah. Call them Legion, for they were many. And I'm not talking about the 31st century either. So, yeah, but it's just like a lot of these things, like Zero Hour, I think, if anything, made things worse. That's why I am like, let's get the DC people. Although I'm hearing that the new regime at DC post AT&T involvement is kind of leaning towards, everyone's their separate universe, and if it doesn't fit up with the others, oh well. See, the problem was that since the 70s, we've had a number of creators, some of whom have been absolute geniuses, don't get me wrong, but they were, based on the Marvel universe, where Stan Lee, if he isn't writing it, he's editing it. And he, for several years, you didn't see characters popping up in other people's books, and they told you where it fit in the continuity. But with the new influx of people, say about 1970 and later, you had people who'd grown up on the Jack Kirby, Steve Ditko, Don Heck, Stan Lee, Roy Thomas stuff, and say, well, I'm going to do my own stories here, and I'm going to make damn sure they tie into everyone else's. So if Steve Gerber's writing something in the Defenders, he's going to, editor's going to make sure that Doug Minch is following that same continuity in Master of Kung Fu, and Archie Goodwin's, or Mike Friedrich's doing something similar in Iron Man, that everything's going to fit like this. And for a while it did. Of course, Marvel's now, I can't figure out head or tails what's going on there. I'm trying so hard to catch up. But DC, trying to shoehorn at least 2 Earths together, actually several Earths, because you had Shazam and the Quality Heroes, etc. Trying to put that all in one cohesive storyline. Somebody should have sat down and just made a cohesive history, which Marv Wolfman did in a very limited series. But then they started introducing things like a new Superman and a new, the new Wonder Woman with Themyscira and all from George Perez, and Hawkworld from Tim Truman. By the time they got to Hawkworld, this was like the 5th iteration or so of Hawkman, with different origins, different times. And some writers like John Ostrander tried to make it all work, and God bless him. But yeah, that's just a mess. Anyway, Angie Duda says, Grant and I just did a review of Wonder Woman Dead Earth on our YouTube channel, and it was great, but a different take. Yeah, I don't mind different takes on it. I love the 3-part by Grant Morrison and Yannette Paquette, the Wonder Woman Year One. That was a great trilogy of comics. It's very PC, but it works. Great sense of humor from Grant Morrison. Kind of titillating, I'll admit. But and also great action, great storylines, logical storylines. So I love stuff like that. I love the Elseworlds books for the most part. A lot of those were great. And the Scout Cracker says, well, Cookie seems to be in a good mood today, so I'll go ahead and say it. Don't die, feed Cookie. And John, if you're still there, I'll get with you later. You know I'm at work right now. And I'm not going to remind you all of the time. You're a grown man, and it's your show. It's our show, okay? It is our show, John. It is yours, and it is mine. I couldn't do this show without you guys commenting and Friday proves, an hour and a half of me just talking by myself gets old fast. Anyway, the DC Marvel argument doesn't need to exist anymore, says Willow Schuyler. They have very different styles of writing and art, especially in movie form. Just allow me to escape from reality for a few hours. I'll be happy. The Peppermint Princess nails it. In fact, just for you, Willow, this is for you. All right. Thank you, sweetheart. And thank you for all you do. I don't tell you that enough. Thank you for all you do, Willow, and thank you all for all you do. I appreciate the hell out of each and every one of you. I really do. You make this show. Once I sit in the chair, I'm in the pilot seat, and I am ready to rock with you guys. And I appreciate your commentary, your friendship, and all the stuff that you all do for each other and yourselves. All right. So I hope you all have a good day. And we want to do our thank yous right now. And first thank you, of course, is to our ongoing sponsor, Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you. The images you saw there were from actual book covers produced by Plasma Fire Graphics. Check out their Facebook page. Check out Plasma Fire Graphics for more information. They are very affordable. They can do book trailers, book covers, and graphics that'll help you sell that work. So check them out. They're great and easy to work with, and très affordable. That's French, So check them out. And Brian, you keep saying how awesome they are, but when have you had your work attached to them? Oh, right here, smarty pantses. I have it right here. Snow Ambition, number 4 in the Snow Short series from our good friend Bobby Nash, who will be on with Charles F. Millhouse and myself this coming Tuesday night on Clever Title Pending. It'll be a fun show. You will love it. And I know I will. I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, it's a brand new Abraham Snow adventure, a quick read crime thriller. Then it's 99 cents available now on Amazon. So please check it out. But definitely check out the work of Jeffrey Hayes on Plasma Fire Graphics. Jeffrey, we love you, brother. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you. And we also want to thank our patrons on Patreon. Patreon is a monthly subscription service where you can directly support your favorite creators on a financial level. And it's just a modest amount every month. Even $1 gets you something from me, such as mentions on my show. Just like you see here. These wonderful people support the Rising Tide mission. And they help keep this show on the air, and also they help us work towards new equipment. They helped save a couple computers here that kept the show on the air, and they do all kinds of wonderful things. And in return, I give them stuff such as works and blogs and all kinds of cool things. So check out our rewards system at www.patreon.com/Brian K. Morris. And after you do that, go to the Rising Tide Broadcast Network page on Facebook and give that page a like. We put a lot of our broadcasts on there, so it's a one-stop shopping for you. But check it out. Tonight, there will be no episode of The Truth Mongers. They will return next week. So tomorrow it will be Thursday morning. Then Ted's probably not going to do a Ted's Timepieces. He's on a little hiatus right now, and he's earned it. He broadcasts almost more than I do. But anyway, we're starting it off tomorrow night at 7 p.m. with Comic Book Spectrum with myself, Eric S. Hawkins, Brian Rodman, and Clyde Hall, the gold star reviewers of current comics. And we're going to talk about the industry, and we love your questions and comments. So please join us and become part of the show. And then Amy Hale's taking a few weeks off to gear up for a new season of Creative as Hell. I can't wait for that to return. And then 9 p.m. Eastern is Stupid O'Clock with Joe Dog McKeel and the Skunk Rocker, Dan, John, Heather, Bill, and whoever ever just wanders by, they'll put in there and have a great conversation that you're going to dig. They're all geeks. They're all nerds. They're all fun. They got great sense of humor. And then stay tuned. Around 11 o'clock, Dan Holofield will continue with the Last Man Standing program. And he's always great. He's always fun. And we will be back on Friday morning with another live, never mind the furthermore. God, how much coffee do I need today? Oh, preserve me. But anyway, we got that going, and And take care, all. You too, Ace. Thank you for being here, my friend. It was a pleasure to have you here, as always. Let me get down to where I need to be. There we go. As we vamp for time. We don't mind doing our direction while we're on the air.
How dare you?
Because that's how I tell myself how to do it, Greta. Okay, please lighten up. Anyway, thank you all for being here. Thank you. I hope you're enjoying some better weather today. In fact, last night I was driving around and I saw blue skies for the first time in quite some time. I mean, genuine blue, not that kind of hazy, smoky blue from the west, but actual blue. It was so wonderful. Just like it was wonderful coming home from the Superman celebration in Metropolis and seeing the fields and the sunsets. There's lots of little joys. Sometimes you're the only person who gets to see them, but enjoy them just the same, all right? Because they're put there for you. And a special thank you to Bobby Nash, BobbyNash.com, AbrahamSnow.com. Check out the work of Bobby Nash. And thank you again for completing my collection with Skeletor there. Man, I definitely owe you. And I owe all of you. I'll give you another show tomorrow night with Comic Book Spectrum and another one on Friday with a live edition of Nevermind the Furthermore. How's that sound? So anyway, folks, we're going to take our leave here. We're going to feed Cookie and do our comic book shopping for the day. Looking forward to it as always. And hope you have a great Wednesday. Hope your hump day is really good. And we hope your comic monger has some really cool stuff for you, waiting for you in your pull drawer, or that you find something wonderful that you've never read before and are amazed by. So anyway, folks, take the time to be creative today because it improves the world. It really does. And do what you can to make your own life better and those around you just by smiling, maybe. You'd be surprised how well that works. And so, as always, folks, this is Brian K. Morris thanking you for being here on Nevermind the Furthermore and asking you, well, then, demanding that you stay smart, stay safe, wash your hands, and never apologize for being awesome. Have a great day, everyone, and we'll see you tomorrow night on Comic Book Spectrum and definitely Friday for another live version of Nevermind the Furthermore. Have a great Wednesday, everyone.
Thank you for watching Nevermind the Furthermore, a Rising Tide Broadcast Network production. If you enjoyed any part of this show, please give it a like or a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Also, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and consider becoming one of our Patreon supporters. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time on Nevermind the Furthermore.
Author Cindy Kep is writing on the edge. Books include Remnant in the Stars, The Loudest Actions, Lines of Succession, Mindstorm, Condemned Courier, the Yerushalayim series, and Animal Eye. Find author Cindy Kep at CKOEPP.com today.
Stormgate Press presents Pulp Reality 2. 10 new short stories from today's leading authors and illustrators in the new pulp genre. Packed with pirates, private eyes, aliens, automatons, villains, and vigilantes. High adventure, wondrous fantasy, mysterious horror, and startling science fiction await. Pick up a copy and be transported to astonishing places and travel to amazing times in the golden age pulp style. This is Pulp Reality 2. Available now on Amazon.com.
Hi, I am Joe D. McPhee. I am the host of From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher, and I want to cordially invite you to watch our show Saturdays at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. On our show, we will have different guests as well as talk about the comic book industry and pop culture. And every so often, I might actually do a drawing session or a 3D rendering session every here and there. So once again, I want to invite you to watch From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher right here on the broadcast channel that you're looking at, whether it be Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Hope to see you there, and make sure that you catch From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks.
Secrets, trust, worth. The bond between souls intertwined within otherworldly intrigue. Michaela Jade brings forth the Elite Warrior series, a collection of dark fantasy romance novels set in a twisted world where power lusts in the hearts of men and devotion seduces the souls of women. Warrior's Secret, Warrior's Trust, and Warrior's Worth. Available now at authormichaelajade.com.
Now, every Sunday morning, longtime independent comics creator and Indie Volt podcaster Randy Zimmerman hosts a discussion on the lighter side of comics, the more whimsical and fun comics out there, on the Sunday Funnies. That's 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every Sunday on Indie Volt, indievolt.com, the Indie Volt YouTube channel, and the usual Indie Volt sites on Facebook. Listen in, won't you? Participate in the chat. Let's have some fun. See you there.
This is the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe to us wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Also catch us on the HWWS Web TV YouTube channel. Subscribe today and become part of the legend.
From author Brian K. Morris comes a classic hero in a high-flying, fast-paced, and action-packed steampunk adventure. The original Skyman battles the Master of Steam with an introduction by comics icon and historian Roy Thomas. A Rising Tide, an Ace Comics publication. Available now in print or digital format on Amazon.com.